nakakatakot isipin na pupunta doon upang magsilbi sa mga taong hindi niya kilala. Karamihan, iba ang faith. Although we worship the same God, He never made fear be in the way of His aspiration not to allow that statistic of 6 out of 10 Filipinos dying without ever seeing a doctor. And so today, Mr. President, I rise and ask the Senate to express unanimously, as it hereby expresses, our profound sympathies and sincere condolences to the parents of the death of a selfless doctor, Dr. Dreyfus Perlas, to honor him and to inspire others to follow his ilk. You know, we are all defined by our youth, and this young man would have had a great future if he had been allowed to do so. Most of us were young when we started. We are what we are today because of our past. Scholars or student leaders, as the case may be, joining extracurricular activities in college, pursuing our causes in the prime of our youth, proving our idealism not just by words but by deeds, and proving to the last breath of the body that it was not a worthless sacrifice. So, Mr. President, I'd like to end there and say, death be not proud. You will pardon me I am often most easily affected. I try to be of strong heart, but when something like this happens, it reminds all of us of our frailty and our duty to our fellow men. Let this sacrifice be worthy and not be wasted, and let it not add to our apathy, our indifference, our feeling of being mere spectators in the drama of making life a little better for all. To seek justice for those who cannot defend themselves anymore, and to find the sympathy and the condolences required to console parents of a great young man that they have raised through great difficulty and sacrifice. I ask the Senate, therefore, to write the necessary documentation and submit it to the family today. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Dick Gordon, Mr. Majority Floor Leader.
Mr. President, may I move to recognize the Minority Leader, Senator Frank Dulon.
The Minority Leader is now recognized, Senator Dulon.
Mr. President, we rise to associate ourselves with the resolution being proposed. Indeed, Dr. Dreyfus Perlas is somebody that we can look up to in terms of the service that he has rendered to the people, particularly in the field, in the medical profession, and having joined the Doctors for the Barrios program would indicate his deep commitment to help and improve the lives of his people. It is in that sense that the minority bloc would join and move move that we unanimously pass, subject to style, proposed Senate Resolution number 321, just sponsored by Senator Richard J. Gordon. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Drilon. Senator Riza Ontiveros, like to say something? Senator Ontiveros is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President and Majority Leader. I wholeheartedly join my Minority Leader's manifestation of support for the good gentleman from Zambales' resolution. I met Dr. Dre, as his family and friends call him, at his Doctors to the Barrios graduation at the Development Academy of the Philippines in 2014. He is also an island mate of mine and my minority leaders, all of us coming from Panay Island. And I also filed one of the resolutions mentioned by the good gentleman from Zambales, in particular Senate Resolution number 310, precisely also seeking an immediate resolution of the case, as well as provision of greater and better protection in the field for our public health service providers. Thank you very much, Mr. President, and thank you very much to the good gentleman.
Thank you, Senator Ontiveros. Senator Gordon.
I would like to thank the minority, headed by my good friend Senator Franklin Drilon, and of course Riza Ontiveros, and certainly the majority floor leader, and all of us here.
The Chair would also like to associate himself to the sentiments of the good sponsor.
I'm sure there will be no objection to move unanimously on this matter, and I so move, Mr. President. But at the same time, I would also like to add that I will also be filing a resolution to allow the government to provide insurance for all doctors to the barrios, life insurance, so that they can do their services well and not be worried if they leave their loved ones behind. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
That is duly noted. Thank you, Senator Gordon. Mr. Majority Floor Leader.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. I move to adopt PS Resolution 321, subject to style.
Is there any objection? The Chair hears none. The motion is carried.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that we adjourn the session until 3 o'clock in the afternoon of Monday, March 13, 2017.
Is there any objection? There being none, the session is adjourned until 3 o'clock in the afternoon of Monday, March 13, 2017.
Take it up because, quite frankly, if you notice, my voice is going out because I've got so many things to do that I think are more productive at the moment. And I pointed out that there could be deaths, but unfortunately, no matter how we squeeze the stone, no real evidence has been presented. So, Mr. President, Madam President, I respectfully would like to manifest that I think it should be archived. Thank you very much.
Well, Madam President, given the dispute, and of course I respect my older schoolmate, so I moved instead to refer it to the Committee on Rules for us to decide on what to do with it.
It is therefore referred to the Committee on Rules. We now recognize Senator Manny Pacquiao.
On a matter of public interest, Madam President, Senator Manny Pacquiao.
Senator Pacquiao, please proceed.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, I rise on a matter of personal privilege speech. Right at the start, my desire is to represent our people who cannot speak for themselves. Bilang bagong senador, narito ako upang maging boses ng ating mga kababayan. I don't just represent them, I am one of them. Sa loob ng 8 buwan dito sa Senado, marami akong nalaman at natutunan. In a state of confusion, we need a clarification. We conducted a committee hearing on the extrajudicial confession of SPO3 Las Cañas to find out if he can show new evidence. Madam President, I want to put on record my view regarding the media statement of Senator Trillanes, reported by Myla Agar as published on Inquirer.net yesterday. The article entitled, and I quote, "Trillanes to colleagues, did you become saints after spiritual renewal?" End of quote, was brought to my attention. Madam President, karapatan po ni Senador Trillanes na magbigay ng opinyon. Wala po akong intensyon na pigilan ang karapatan ng ating kasama. Just don't give us a bad name. It is good to be reminded that our primary role is to legislate, and when we conduct hearings or investigations, this should always be in aid of legislation. Anyone who is against the President of the Republic of the Philippines can file an impeachment case against him in Congress. Just don't give the Senate of the Republic of the Philippines a bad name. As senators, we are not imposing our morals on our resource persons. And for the record, I am not imposing my morals on SPO3 Las Cañas. I just offended, Madam President, of the statement of my colleague Trillanes, Senator Trillanes, for his statement, Madam President. Noong nakaraang hearing, nag-imbestiga tayo, katulad ninyo, Madam President, gusto kong malaman ang katotohanan. The Senate as an institution deserves to be treated with honor and respect. We have rules and we have standards. As an institution, we expect our resource persons in whatever Senate inquiry to uphold their oath, to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Katulad po ninyo, galit ako sa fake news. Galit din po ako sa fake statements. Wala naman talaga